Hello guys, I'm Ömer. I'm going to present you a close reading that I choose in the Prince. Uh, I choose the passage from chapter 8 and page 25 if you want to look at. And first, let me read the passage for you guys. Yet it certainly cannot be called virtue to murder his fellow citizens, betray his friends, to be devoid of truth, pity, or religion. A man may get power by means like these, but not glory. If we can consider simply the courage of Agathocles in facing and escaping from dangers, and the greatness of his soul in sustaining and overcoming adversity, it is hard to see why he should be considered inferior to greatest captains. Nonetheless, his fearful cruelty and inhumanity, along with his unnumerable crimes, prevent us from placing him among the really excellent men. For we can scarcely attribute to either fortune or virtue a conquest which he ought to neither. So, I want to explain the meaning of words that I choose in this passage. I underline them as well. And I want to comment on something. The words that I choose are sort of has most of them has bad meanings, and uh, even if I didn't choose them by specifically, most of the words in this passage are negative words. So this is just an intuition for to give you guys. And a virtue, a good quality that someone has, betray to behave in this dishonest or cruel way, devoid of something. This this is used in with three words in the passage: truth, pity, or religion. Devoid of something is completely without a quality. Uh, Truth, the real facts about the situation. Pity, used to say that something is disappointing. Religion, the belief in a god or in good or goods, or a particular god or gods. Sorry, or a particular system of believing god or gods. Um, Glory, praise and respect you get from people for achieving something important. Cruelty, cruel behavior, or cruel action. Inhumanity, extreme a cruel behavior. Scarcely, only just. Uh, so let's go to the semantics part. In semantic part, there is a word virtue which is used almost every page in the book. Uh, it is described by Machiavelli as qualities that should be acquired by prince and show by himself as well. So I'm going to explain clearly this word later on. And a fearful cruelty, cruel which is related to inhumanity or not related to humanity. So the structural level, the theme that I found or think is the difference between power and glory. Uh, what I mean by difference is uh, you need to have a strict power, a power to achieve a glory, but uh, the way that you get the power uh, can affect your meaning of your glory. Even though if you see is it a glory, it may not be perceived in the society or from the people as in the same way. Uh, so in this sense, the word virtue has more extending meaning in this in this sense. Uh, for example, I mentioned some of the quantities before. I said that Machiavelli described the virtue as qualities that should be acquired by a prince and show by himself as well. What are those qualities are such as like courage, ability, effort, generosity, this kind of virtues that should be acquired by a prince. But in this particular passage, which has more extended meaning, um, even though the some of the quantities that just I'm right going to explain, some of the quantities, even though they are not welcomed by humanity, a prince should or could adopt some of these quantities, like cruelty or dishonesty, because by adopting these vices, these quantities, if the prince can achieve to or be able to benefit the state, uh, they they can it these quantities can be acceptable. In this chapter that I choose, there is a story going on. Uh, there is a guy named Agathocles. He, he's uh, he born the son of a potter. Potter is like the guy who make uh, eating stuff. No, it's just like a worker with a low income. Uh, he he get into military and have higher positions in military and administrative get some level of administrative level in military, and after that he do some bad things to uh, achieve the level of uh, administrating the state or having a prince. He done some cruel things to achieve this, and uh, the Machiavelli explained this is an not as an bad thing. So he give an example of these to explain uh, the virtue as an extended meaning that I just described. So, therefore, we can uh, indicate that uh, every quantity or element of virtue uh, must be considered in itself, such as uh, is if it has a good effect in the state, uh, or it has not. If it has a good effect, it benefits the state, even though it has a bad meaning or it is seen a bad thing from a society. Uh, it can be adopted. So if this is the case, then we need to stop questioning its morality, the quantity's morality. So to conclude, that cruelty can be used as well to benefit the state from a prince, and this cruelty is bounded with humanity borders, so uh, it shouldn't be exceeded from these borders. And in the last part of the passage that I chose, it is shown as well. I want to read it again. Nonetheless, his fearful cruelty and inhumanity, along with his innumerable crimes, prevent us from placing him among the really excellent men. So you can see prevent us from placing him among the really excellent men. For we can scarcely, it means barely attribute to either fortune or virtue a conquest which he owned to neither. And this was the semantic part. Uh, so sorry, structural part, and I wanna conclude my presentation with cultural part. So, if we think this in today's world, we can the uh, infamous crimes are uh, like cruels. So, what I mean by infamous crimes is like stealing something or having a or getting in the prison. So these kind of things make you an infame uh, make you to have a infamous crimes. So uh, by having this feature, you cannot be uh, chosen or elected to a government uh, or a governor. But I don't want to give in more details, but in our country, our uh, president has an infamous crime. Uh, so you guys can write his name and the infamous crime of him and found what he has done. So I don't want to mention about it because I don't want to do a politics or something. So, and even though our president has this feature, uh, he can he is ruling our country, and even though our people, our citizens, know some of them knows this situation, they are they are trusting him and they call race to him and they they are trusting him and he's kind of achieved his glory by doing some religious improvement, doing some mosques or something that I do not support, and so he has these infamous crimes and he's supported by his citizens. Actually, some percentage of his citizens. Uh, there are a lot of people like me thinks opposite of it. So yeah, we can think this situation, this a little passage in this sense as in the cultural level. Uh, this is the example that I can give you guys. So this is it. Thank you for listening.